While the world watches Topuria chase a second belt and Makhachev eye welterweight gold, one man quietly prepares to steal the spotlight. Charles Oliveira's back, and he says he's taking the title again. Here's why you shouldn't count out Do Bronx's. Charles Oliveira's journey back to the top isn't just a comeback. It's a mission. After losing the UFC lightweight title to Islam Makhachev in 2022, many questioned whether Do Bronx's would ever reclaim his throne. But Oliveira, who holds UFC records for most finishes 20, submission 16, and performance bonuses 20, refuses to let one loss define his legacy. He silenced critics once before, with dominant wins over Michael Chandler, Dustin Poirier, and Justin Gaethje after years of being labeled a quitter. That transformation was more than physical. Oliveira described it as being illuminated. And now, with renewed fire, he's determined to complete the story arc that began with him hoisting the title in 2021. Speaking with emotional clarity ahead of UFC 317, Oliveira made his mindset clear. I have all the confidence in the world that on Saturday, you're going to hear Charles Oliveira is a champion, and I'm going to be the champion once again. This isn't just about another win. It's about redemption, legacy, and proving that Charles Oliveira is, and always was, one of the greatest lightweights in UFC history. If you're enjoying Insight, don't forget, MMA Thread brings you fresh UFC updates 3 times a day. Hit that subscribe button so you never miss a beat in the fight game. While Charles Oliveira initially hoped for a long-awaited rematch with Islam Makhachev, he has fully embraced the challenge of facing Ilia Topuria at UFC 317, a rising star riding high after back-to-back wins over legends Alexander Volkanovski and Max Holloway. But Oliveira doesn't see this as a dangerous step down. He sees it as an opportunity to derail the hype train and remind the division who still runs 155. Topuria, despite his impressive streak, hasn't yet proven himself at lightweight. That's where Oliveira plans to capitalize. With nearly 30 UFC fights under his belt and experience in the deepest waters of the division, Oliveira believes he can expose Topuria's inexperience at lightweight with pressure, pace, and relentless aggression, the same strategy that's earned him a highlight reel of finishes. It's always just push forward, walk forward, and charge forward, Oliveira said. That's what I do. Be myself and do that. For Oliveira, the key isn't changing who he is, it's doubling down on it. He plans to drag Topuria into deep, uncomfortable territory and show him that there's a big difference between beating featherweights and surviving a lightweight war with Charles Do Bronx's Oliveira. For Charles Oliveira, this fight is about more than reclaiming the UFC lightweight belt. It's about purpose, legacy, and leaving behind something greater than titles. Since becoming a father again, now a proud boy dad, Oliveira has found renewed motivation to stay at the top and push himself beyond limits. He credits his children as the emotional fuel behind this new chapter of his career. It gives you motivation to continue to work and be here, he said. I think that things happen at the right time, right place. That deeper purpose is also reflected in his work outside the octagon. Oliveira was recently awarded the Forrest Griffin Community Award, honoring his efforts through the Charles Do Bronx's Institute, a nonprofit that provides underprivileged youth in Sao Paulo with access to free education, jiu-jitsu training, nutrition, and art programs. The award symbolizes a different kind of gold, one earned not in a cage, but in the lives he's impacted. It's something magical, he said of the award, a reminder that while he fights for glory, he also fights for his community. As Oliveira prepares for UFC 317, he carries more than just his own legacy into the cage. He fights with the weight of his roots, the pride of his people, and the belief that champions aren't just crowned, they rise, fall, and rise again. Will Charles Oliveira make history again at UFC 317? Let us know your prediction in the comments. And if you love consistent UFC coverage, like this video and hit that bell. MMA Threads dropping 3 fight updates daily.